Jan-Krzysztof Duda opts for b3, opening the curtains for his bishop to reign from the shadows.
The bishop may be shy, but he sure knows how to pick his battles.
Gukesh counters with e5, laying the foundation for a grand castle soon to rise.
Ah, yes, the classic create a kingdom and wait patiently strategy.
Duda brings his bishop onto the battlefield, a sentinel ready to strike from afar.
Or just a wise old sage keeping an eye on the pawns murmuring at the front lines.
The knight leaps to c6, oh, the noble steed galloping into destiny.
Perhaps galloping towards a destiny of keeping the peace more than epic battles.
A humble pawn steps up, freeing a world of possibilities for white.
Sure, a world where some knights just like to watch from the sidelines.
This knight, however, isn't content just to observe. The dark knight strides boldly toward the center.
Likely just applying for a job as the guardian of the kingdom.
White's bishop advances with an ominous presence, casting its gaze over the equations of power on the field.
A tactical move to pin the knight, but I'm sure it's more fun to think of it as staring contests.
Black responds with bd6, fortifying the bishop's role as protector of his kingdom's core.
Standing support for the pawns, a bit like a worried parent, really.
White's knight veers into view, preparing for its own venture onto the battlefield.
It's either a bold move, or it just needed to stretch its legs.
And there it is, black castles, an impenetrable fortress formed.
More of a cozy nook, but yes, castles.
White follows suit with castling, a delightful symmetry of defensive architecture.
2 castles, 1 kingdom, a bit crowded, isn't it?
Black repositions a knight, preparing strategic awakenings along the sidelines.
In other words, it's taking the scenic route.
White unsheathes the pawn sword, thrusting f4 into the enemy's midsection.
Ah, yes, nothing screams shock and awe like the slow march of a pawn.
The knight surges to g6, ready to support his comrades on the front line.
More like he's the cool backup who arrives just a bit too early.
A bold strike from white as they seize the battlefield with pawns clashing.
And so the first blood is drawn, if ever pawns can bleed.
Black swiftly retaliates with the bishop, reclaiming the lost ground.
Or just cleaning up the mess, if you will.
White's bishop retaliates with a vengeance, eliminating the enemy's spearhead.
It's less vengeance and more matching the color of the squares.
A dance of death, the knight slays its counterpart in dramatic retaliation.
In chess, it's all drama and silence, isn't it, Alex?
With cunning swiftness, white repositions their knight, a quiet sentinel over the kingdom.
The piece that says, I'm here for the party, but did I miss something?
Black advances the pawn, a tidal force pressing against the enemy ranks.
More like a slow tide that erodes the morale of buildings over years.
The knight steps into the fray, a bejeweled champion, ready to reclaim territory.
Definitely the knight that says, I bring shine, and maybe someday fine strategy too.
Black raises the stakes with a pawn leading the charge into enemy land.
Bravery, thy name is little pawn trying to make its parents proud.
White strikes back, eliminating the pesky intruder with finesse and form.
Well, form perhaps, finesse is still under review.
And there it is, a spray of calculated madness as the Black Queen delivers a check.
Or just making sure the king doesn't doze off during the game.
With dignity, the White King steps away from danger, choosing discretion over valor.
Certainly, because valor is much overrated against queens.
Black fortifies their defenses, nurturing a strategic depth beneath the froth of conflict.
Or watering the lawn. Sometimes the board's garden just needs some care.
The white bishop retreats, safeguarding its secrets and ready for further conquests.
It's well known that bishops and secrets are quite the pair.
Gukesh strengthens his flanks with rd8, the rook reinforcing the front lines.
Ah, reinforcements. It's like ordering pizza for a tired army.
Duda's queen evokes her power, aligning with her forces to plot a comeback.
Aligning? More like trying to remember if there's a coffee shop nearby.
A bold leap, Black's bishop grasps white's queen by the throat, holding fate in balance.
And in chess, bishops are all about balance, although yoga bishops might be a stretch.
White drives the rook to d1, bringing forth a watchful guardian of the royal court.
Maybe more like a stern crossing guard, actually.
Repositioning, the black rook claims its throne at e8, a general of grand designs.
Just making sure it gets enough rest before the evening skirmish. Rook's orders.
White's pawn nervously touches f3, questioning the meaning of maneuvering.
Looks more like a curtain twitch than a strategic marvel.
Black opts for b6, holding their ground and fortifying their resolve.
When in doubt, go back to the basics. Block the exit doors.
A daring assault. White's rook sacrifices itself in a blaze of glory against the knight.
Blaze of glory or a slow roast. At some points they blur.
The pawn rises to the challenge, capturing white's audacious champion.
Might as well be taking out the garbage, from black's perspective.
White's knight steps into the fray, weaving ambition into every move.
Thinking ahead, more like, hey, I heard you needed a place warmer.
And so the noble king tucks himself away cautiously, the fortress yet secure.
The chess equivalent of denying all calls and emailing later.
The pawn advances, offering latent threats and hidden promises.
Promising perhaps that in 10 years, something will happen.
The black queen retreats, strategizing, a powerful shadow over the battlefield.
Yes, strategizing over which Netflix series to watch later.
With a flourish, white releases its pawn once more, eager to influence the board.
At least one piece is eager. Can't say the same for knights.
The black knight returns, a steadfast warrior in the fog of war.
Or a wanderer perpetually seeking new lands to claim, and yet eternally getting lost.
The white queen links with her army, a signal of union and strength.
Or an alliance for the fancy aristocratic ball to take place soon.
With fanfare, the black pawn claims new ground, striking at white's underbelly.
The battlefield equivalent of a slow march to claim the fridge, followed by emotions.
With valor, the knight captures black's pawn, thrusting teasingly forward.
Or like getting the last slice of pizza before the shop closes. A similar relief.
Black's bishop swoops in, avenging the fallen and striking at white's forces.
The best avengers are those who don't wait for sequels.
The white queen captures, a regal answer to the black bishop's sudden attack.
The queen who believes in having the last word, or rather, bite.
The black queen moves in unwavering counsel, preparing for future battles.
Or just moving out of the way to let pawns admire art.
White aligns the bishop, a sentinel of subtlety and wisdom reborn.
Wisdom or sheer force of habit, but that's for historians to decide.
The queen positions on h4, casting a dark canopy over white's encampment.
Less canopy, more of an awkward attempt to find company at parties.
The white rook aligns in support, ushering in new tactics and allyship.
As alliances go, this rook is in it for the coffee, probably.
A careful reposition by black, aligning resources with potential.
Potential, or just making sure all is tidy before the weekend.
White spurs the knight into heroic opportunity with threads of danger.
Danger, thy name is, didn't quite think this one through, but still knight.
Both black rooks unite, a brace of fortitude and resolve unyielding.
Resolved to not clear out the fridge until tomorrow, mostly.
White deploys the bishop to c4, offering counsel and eyeing prospect with hope.
Cuisine chef or philosopher, everyone on c4 wonders alike.
Black's rook knows its duty, reinforcing the team's strategy by moving to f8.
Duty, yes, but the view is captivating over there too.
A resounding strike, the white queen declares war with a direct check.
The monarchy has spoken, yet the king wonders if it's happy hour.
Oh, Jamie, you're always bypassing the grandeur of the moment. The king sidesteps with dignity, a graceful avoidance of white's ambitious gambit.
A strategic sidestep. The king just wanted to feel useful too.
The white king moves defensively, a dance of anticipation and resolve.
Resolve, or maybe just thinking the same what's for dinner thought like us all.
A powerful assertion by black, advancing b5 to spread influence over the board.
A knight might think it's a good time for a sandwich.
And the bishop deftly returns to its kingdom, ready to support its comrades anew.
Retreating for Coco, winter manifests even on chessboards sometimes.
Black's rook advances into enemy territory, a cavalcade of iron fury.
Fury, yes, but a gentle kind. Imagine handing out cookies while doing so.
A knight falls. White's bishop seizes its foe in a blaze of battlefield justice.
Justice served with a side dish of minor chaos, the best way to serve it.
A pawn recaptures, bringing symmetry and maintaining the firm defense.
Yes, symmetry, or as we call it, just returning the favor.
Hark, the king withdraws to the shadows, preparing for potential resurgence.
Shadow is just the fancy term for planning a coup with popcorn in hand.
With intent, Black moves re1, drawing a thin line between aspiration and destiny.
That line is also called Wednesday between you and me.
White captures with the rook, a fiery exchange at the heart of battle.
Fiery, or just two bystanders shaking hands, some would say.
In brilliance, Black's queen demands the situation with a checking swoop.
Demanding and swooping indeed, sounds like a control freak bird of paradise.
With finesse, the king sidesteps, orchestrating a moment's reprieve from chaos.
Or maybe just trying to step out of the limelight briefly for refreshments.
An elegant blow from Black's queen, removing a vital piece from White's grasp.
Elegant is a nice word, but it's also like plucking an unripe fruit.
A gallant knight steps forth with ne4, echoing with determined grimness.
More like wearing bright shoes to blind with reflections.
Black's queen shifts with intent, positioning for the decisive check.
Decisive check or just perusing Instagram, one can never be too sure these days.
White sends forth the queen on a Hail Mary, mixing valor with mere hope.
Sad tale of Hail Marys, most of the times never catching their markers.
The queen glides to h6, encasing the board in Black's palpable might.
Is encasing like sliding under the doors to ghost the night?
A defiant cry as White's knight voices a desperate challenge to the king.
Challenge, indeed. In chess, the check is more important than the mate.
Once more the king retreats with kh8, a supreme dance of caution.
Caution is nice, but doesn't pay the rent, they say.
The knight, insistent and wild, lands with new check fury.
Ah, fiery knights making impulsive visits.
Prudent Black parries with f6, a formidable bulwark against White's assaults.
Parry looks like a contractor half finishing a job.
Duda's queen maneuvers to d6, an indomitable spirit in a world of chaos.
Queen spirit's often like shopping at rush hour. It's just hectic.
Black's rook shores at f7, firming the battle lines and fending off White.
The battle lines that probably include a tikka masala somewhere.
Bravura from White's knight as he stumbles in, capturing a pawn.
Or just a thanks for the freebie gesture we all know too well.
The Black queen slides over, ever the articulate guardian and artisan of chaos.
Artisan, yes, corporate jobs often have such artisans.
The room is silenced. The White queen's sacrifice check creates echoing screams of honor.
Your call, but her echo feels a bit more chill than mine.
Firm, Black's rook consolidates, capturing and replacing the void left by the queen.
Feels like putting a sticker over a dent to ignore the past.
White's knight adopts a prowess filled with experience and retreat.
Retreats seem more like needing to find the unwind button once in a while.
With steadfast resolve, the Black rook claims d8, spreading control over enemy terrain.
More of a gentle reminder that the house was never hers to begin with.
The knight basks again in the thick of battle, ever hopeful on its new square.
Hopeful, or planning to open a harebrained Hopes and Dreams LLC.
Black's rook claims the pawn with fervor, an act of decisive maneuvering.
Decisive, or the rook just had second thoughts about sharing snacks with a pawn.
In a stunning twist, White claims Black's pasture of prosperity.
Or White just had a liking to cabbages growing there.
Black's rook takes a strategic pause, consolidating and aligning strategies anew.
Pausing but probably reviewing an episode or two.
The king steps forth, a periphery commitment that could turn the tides of fate.
King seeking acknowledgement, but whether or not he gets it is best left unsaid.
The Black king arches forth as if communing with the ether of potential.
Communion, or informing the publishers about their upcoming moves.
The White king moves with sensibility to f4, an air of courageous optimism.
Kingly optimism at its best, a toast to long-lost dreams.
And with a grandiose step, the Black King echoes his predecessors with such bravura.
Grandiose, or just moving to a spot without the neighbor's Wi-Fi interference.
A pawn moves to h4, opening lanes for stealthy futures and moral derivations.
Moral derivations, the missing piece from most discussions.
Black resorts to a6, upward liberations and fervent dance, a free spirit.
Dancing pawn, but make it a classical dance at best.
g4 ignites the board with white's strategic breadth, an invidious thrust.
An oops moment for the feelings, while the pieces cook strategies.
Steadfast is the rook on d6, asserting moral and territorial fortitude.
Moral fortitude? Oh, the treasures these rooks hold.
A harrowing advance as the knight dances upon lesser-trodden squares, ambitious.
Less ambitious, more like fumbling towards another exotic snack.
A dramatic check by the black rook shines with mastery and acute instinct.
A calculated check. These pieces sure need coffee breaks more often.
With elegance, white king strategically retreats, evading the rooks.
Strategic, but only if the peace of mind is paramount to all.
With ingenuity, a rook shifts to d2, exuding profound countermove potential.
Ingenious potential akin to popcorn makers. Once popped, never stopped.
White tentatively places a3 to coax black into his lattice trap.
Traps, lattices, or merely just letting space breathe.
Rook seizes a2 with grace unmatched, tightening its shadow's hold.
And hold, yes, but what does it hold on to beyond those grand shadows?
A valorous move by the king who moves to e4, a step taken with courage.
Valor sometimes thinks itself more courageous than manageable.
Black's rook claims a pawn with a thunderous rxa3, sealing fate.
Clinching victories over minor skirmishes is practiced quite often here.
g5 delivers a provocative check, punching through black's defenses.
Provocative, yes, but checks might not be worth checkmates due to stats.
Retreating modestly, black's king takes refuge in solidarity.
Overstaying its welcome isn't the king's style, after all.
White props b4 defiantly like a gauntlet tendered across the stage.
A defiant gauntlet, yes, but more like sending an unaimed letter to a distant cousin.
The rook annexes to ra4, striding forward with determined assurance.
Assurance is good, but when there's only it left, the questions linger.
Our gallant knight gallops to c6, calling forth possibilities and whispers.
Possibilities often bore knights with as many endings as stories in Ever After.
The pawn surges to a5, undeterred and zealous towards an unwavering horizon.
Ah, yes, the unwavering horizon that mirrors many a shelf empty.
White ventures forth confidently, kd5, marking his ground as king, undeniable.
Such confidence, yet that ground can be slippery, time often tells.
And black's pawn devours with axe b4 as inexorable fate descends.
Tasty dreams of pawns as they devour their suburban lands.
In composed fashion, the knight swings to d4, a bastion of gallant will.
Well, that may not be measurable, but exists benevolently regardless.
The b3 pawn charges, a masterstroke amidst the chaos of war.
Masterstroke or splattering paint, both beg questions of art.
White's knight captures to restore balance, a stalwart plunge into danger.
It's the plunge that speaks more than it acts, Alex.
The rook claims h4, a triumphant acquisition amidst swirling currents.
Triumphs often need no languages. Rooks always crave those footnotes.
White returns to d4, regaining posture with noble earnestness.
Earnestness in knights may be more effective than proper glances.
The pawn creeps to b4, a statement of inevitability defining boundaries.
Inevitable motion, much like trying to catch that last train at night.
White regains stability with nb3, aspiring for harmony and potential balance.
Harmonizing is not easy on boards. You wish they played music.
The black king stakes a claim to f7, majestic in control.
Majestic at f7 with Wi-Fi reception, I'd be there too.
Counterpoint, the white knight journeys to c5, a gesture of strategic valor.
In strategizing, movements matter. This one could back a bakery.
Boldly, black sends forth ard4, ominous tidings for white have now begun.
Ominous, just another fancy word meaning not what I planned Monday to be.
Righteous, the white knight shifts to d3, a timely plea for order.
Order doesn't remember who requested it, only who closes the shop.
Black advances with b3, a clash of inevitability and destiny unfurls.
And yet, destiny can be so unfashionably late.
A thunderous flash as white issues another check, a knight in shining unrest.
That unrest speaks loudly, though maybe too keen to disperse.
Steadily, the Black King withdraws out of harm's clasp once again.
Withdrawal, or just a sly king taking inspiration for his memoirs.